Welcome to Coach SG and Friends, where we discuss topics that help you have a better relationship with yourself and others. I am Coach SG, otherwise known as your joyful friend. I'm a relationship coach and life mentor, an entrepreneur and speaker. I'm based out of Los Angeles, but originally from Brooklyn, New York. I love great music, deep conversations, and inspiring people to live their best emotional lives and create the most amazing love story. Let me introduce you to my two friends, Janessa Rose and Lisa Miranda. Janessa is the CEO of Motivational Monsters, a nonprofit that helps people activate mental health and emotional well-being through creative arts. She is the author of How to Stop Being an Effing Bum. BUM stands for Broken Urban Mentality. She's been dubbed the Tony Robbins / Cardi B of motivational speakers, and she calls herself the Galactic Goddess. Lisa Miranda is an actor and creative director. She's also dabbling in producing. She is based in Miami, New York, and Paris. She is a world traveler who speaks several languages, who loves life, good people, and good conversation. So we want to welcome you to our podcast. Let's get started. All right. Welcome to 2022. And we hope that everybody closed out 2021 with a bang. And we want to start 2022 with some renewed energy. Where's your stone? Where's your stone?
Here we go. Crystal quartz. Here's a crystal quartz geode for you guys. Soak it up. It's at the camera if you're listening. And you know what? I even got a selenite candle here. I mean, it's all energy. Renew you. Renew all of the listeners and watchers. We love you. Get some energy. Oh.
That's right. So we're going to renew our energy. So we're creating for 2022. We're creating a better life. And love story for ourselves. So today we're going to talk about what that looks like. You know, if it doesn't look perfect, that's okay. This is about progress. This isn't about perfection. So we just want to talk as a group. We got to mention that Lisa is in Europe and her internet was acting a little bit shady. So we're going to see what we can do to add, her independent part to the podcast. But you get Janessa and me. You know what? How do we create that better life and love story for 2022? What's the first thing you would say that people have to do, whether they're creating their love story or they're creating, a better life for themselves? What's the first thing that you think that they should do?
Well, what I've done, right, is taking an inventory of the prior year before that. Collectively think about all right, where was I in 2018, 17, 19? And little by little, when you take inventory like that, you can see your progress or your stagnation or your digress or whatever it is, right? Digress, whatever. Mm-hmm. And that helps because from 17 to 21, 22, where are we at 22? I'm like, whoa, leaps and bounds, right? I've seen the emotional shift. And so this happens to, this is why I'm in the space of, okay, so we've done that doesn't work. That avenue leads you to this, there's a pitfall in this avenue. We're not taking that route now. And so that's what it's been. So inventory is the first thing. After taking the inventory, then I'm thinking about what do I really need? I remember over this last year in one of our episodes, you said something that really had a profound impact on my life, which was how we're responsible to get our needs met. Mm-hmm. Not up to them. It's right. This is what I need. You're great and we're cool and that was fun, but it doesn't meet the need. The need is important. Right. And
you were saying take an inventory of last year. I think that's really important. We said that in our last podcast that, second to last, that you want to take an inventory of your last year, but you really want to take away your successes, not, and the things that you want to do better. You can put it on this list. But I think it's really about getting clear about your desires. The reason for me that the reason I want to get clear about my desires is because I wasn't somebody who was dreaming. I know that you're super creative and you're just it's just natural for you. But I was like the CFO, and it was all about financial stuff, and it was about running a business, but it wasn't about following my desires. And once I did that, my whole world just kind of shifted. So I think, like you said, take an inventory of last year. We want to celebrate where we feel successful and look at the things that we want to have some more progress on. But we definitely got to get really clear about our desires. So what do you want to accomplish this year in your life? Not just in a relationship, because even though this is a relationship podcast, we have a relationship with ourselves. We have a relationship with everything. So there's the love story, and then there's just the regular, relationships. But what do you want to, what are things you want to get clear on for your desires for 2022, whether it's for a relationship or personally?
Yeah, I want the main thing that I'm focused on right now is building my nonprofit, building my organizations. I'm currently running 3 of them. The third one hasn't started just yet, but it's going to, and it's also a much needed organization. So really for me, it's about really establishing myself as a community organizer and activist, and building my organizations and creating foundations and just really being on the ground with that, like hard body. That's important. So I'm trying to build a state-of-the-art cultural, multicultural and wellness center and urban farm in my hometown, right across the street from my grandmother, right where I played and scraped my knees up. Like that's what
where I grew up too.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my main focus. My main focus for my life is that I am granted and given and pulling in and attracting more abundance, so I can do more for others that are lacking. And we're talking on a personal, emotional, and spiritual level. I want to be that catalyst for change in people's lives. That's the most important thing to me. If I can't, and I will, meet someone who is on that level of wanting the same thing, and I will, and that's going to come in. I'm preparing for that, if anything.
Let's get back to creating and building a better life and love story for 2022. So we need to give them some steps. The first step you had mentioned is take an inventory of last year. Celebrate your successes. If there's something that you want to continue to progress with, so you want to get clear on those desires, whatever they are. And I think it's really important that you just allow yourself to dream. I think I didn't give myself that opportunity. I remember when, a while ago when I got a coach, and she was just like, what do you want? All I kept thinking about is, I have this business. We have all these employees. Like, how can I dream about RVing across the United States when I'm in the office every day? It just wasn't possible. So, but, now I'm in my RV exploring the United States, but I didn't think that way. I didn't know how it was going to happen. So I would say for sure, whatever your desire is, whether it's in your love story, it's in the business that you're building, it's in just the things you want to add to the world before you leave. I was thinking, that Betty White just passed away recently, and it's so funny. Everybody knows her and loves her from Golden Girls. You know how long ago Golden Girls were? And that we keep replaying it. And just imagine that's like some artwork that she left for us that will always be here. So, whatever footprint you want to put on the world, choose what it is and write it down. And you don't have to do anything about it right now. All you have to do is write it down. So don't limit yourself, whether you think it's crazy or not, because I have a lot of crazy things that I'm not sure will happen, but that's okay. I get to dream anyways.
Right.
And then for me, and we'll see what it's for you, I switched from like writing goals to setting intention. And I feel like Oprah now, because I didn't realize she was saying this all this time, but I realized when I set my intention that it's different than goals, because sometimes I'll write a goal and I won't achieve it, and then I put it in a fail or success category. And when I focus on intention, that's all that has to be there. Was my intention there to do it, right? Am I focusing on who I want to be and how I want to feel? And that's so important to find success in that. Your intentions were good. You did better than you would have. You may not have met your mark, but you at least set a good intention. So what would you say your intentions for 2022 is? Or have you set an intention? Because we were supposed to do that together.
I know. My intention for 2022, intentions are the power of everything. That's what powers everything. So intention is huge, 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 huge. So
Yes.
my intention for 2022 is to be very, be confident and not allow myself to be emotionally bullied, really, by myself, by my own emotions, not allow
Mhm.
emotions to dictate to me how to react or respond. That's one big intention for me. For a long time, I've allowed the way I feel to have such a say over how I act, and it's kept me stagnant. Excuse me. So that's one of my main intentions, is to not allow my emotions to dictate to me what I can and cannot do. And then my other intention is to be relentless about my intentions. It doesn't matter what you think or what they think or who's in charge. There's no gatekeepers. My main intention is to really believe and become an example of my creating. Like I said earlier about the spirit and the source, I am that source. I am part of that source. I am in my own form, but it's that source that powers this form. So my intention is to constantly remember that it's all a big play and a big creation. And like you said, I get to create whatever I want. And being aware of that, my intention is to make sure that I'm not abusing that and being selfish.
Mhm.
So it's got to be fear. Oh, I mean, faith over fear. So whenever something that's fearful comes up and it starts making me feel that resistance and everything, I got to remember it's a universal law. You can create whatever you want. It's not up to them. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what they said. It doesn't matter who got the grants. It doesn't
Right.
right now. There's so many people I'll share my ideas with, and they're like, "Well, this, that, and the third," and it's like, "Yeah, in your intentional world, not in mine."
And you
Yeah.
know what? I'm so glad that you mentioned that because it's kind of ahead of what we're talking about, but I think it's really important. You know, when you get so excited about your dream, and you're probably sharing it with people that you have to work with, but you don't have to tell everybody about your dream because not everybody's going to understand it. Not everybody has the same assignment. They just know you in the limited way. So sometimes you can say, here's what I want to do, and people are telling you like, I don't know, that sounds like a lot of da-da-da. And if you've got somebody like that in your life, you just got to shut it down because that doesn't help you grow. It just helps you stay stuck. So I love that. I love that you shared that. So my intention for 2022 is to I want to have more freedom than I ever had, and I don't know what that looks like. I just know that whether it's I think I have to. I believe I need to have enough financial resources so that I can feel free, so I can work from anywhere. So I can do whatever I want at whatever time I want. So more freedom is what I'm looking for. I think creativity, because of what you've been talking about, and it's so attractive, and the fact that you engage in all your creative, juices. That I want to do more of that. I think I've been so analytical for so long, and I haven't given myself permission to be creative and to be fun. And so I've always been fun. Let me not say I haven't, but to be creative. I mean, I write all the time. I do all kinds of comedic stuff. So I really want to do more of that and not worry about what people think about it. And I think lastly is kind of what you shared. Um, I'm saying it in a different way, is that I want to feel empowered in every situation that I come across, because I know that was the thing I think I felt I struggled the most. If you made me feel some type of way and it got me into a low vibration, that I blamed you for it. And now I just want to be so empowered that no matter what you're feeling and what you're doing, I know how to recalibrate myself, bring myself up the emotional scale, and leave you alone if I need to, in order to manifest what I need to, and just master myself, because I feel like that's the biggest, my emotional obstacles were the biggest things that stopped me from living my best life and from allowing me to be free. So I want more freedom, more creativity, and I want to be emotionally empowered. So I think after you set your intention, then it's easier for you to set your goals. And that's why I wanted to do it with you and Lisa, because, I think it's good when you do it with people that are trying to manifest their best life too. When you try to do this with people who are thinking limited, it's really hard. So how are you setting your goals for 2022?
Writing them out. I write a lot. So yeah, I'm setting my goals with writing and really probably more action than ever. If I say it, then it's done. I'm at that point knowing what I understand my word is my wand more than ever. Right. If I say it, that's what's going to come in, because that's the universal law. So once we speak it, and writing it is one of the steps too to setting goals. But once you start speaking it, it's already now happening. It's already in form. It's already in the material world because you spoke it. So right. So now once I say it, I think to myself, you got to do it now. Now you got to do it. Now you got to show them. And so that's what I've been doing with setting my goals. I've been showing up, even when people, I don't know who's going to help me. I don't know who's in the same vibration. And I'm putting faith over fear, because usually, oh my God, you don't have anyone. No one, they don't care. Look at your friends, look at your family, look at your environment, right?
I do. I love that you said that your word is your wand. And so what I used to do before, I felt like I was reaching my goals, is that I would write goals down that I felt like that was going to make me happy, right? So I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to make more money. If I wasn't in a relationship, I wanted a more loving relationship. And I think by setting my intention first this time, I really realized the why behind my goals, so that the why is pushing me and not the goal is pushing me. And I love that you said action. So before, I used to get into action, but I didn't get my energy right. I didn't have any of those crystals that you have in your house. So I would have the same mindset and the same emotions, and I would write down new goals, and I'd say, Monday, I'm going to start. And I wonder why on Monday, I'd have a little bit of momentum, but I wouldn't keep going. It's because I didn't get my mindset right. I didn't get my emotions right. I didn't set my why behind what I was doing. So then when I would fail, I just, another failure, and then I'd be in this low vibration kind of cycle. So it's really important that, our listeners are doing what we said, like taking inventory of last year and feeling really successful about the things they did accomplish. Get really clear about their wants and desires, and nothing is too crazy, right? And then setting their intentions so they know the why behind, who they want to be and why they want to feel that way. And then set their goals before they get into action. So one thing that I wasn't doing, I wasn't changing my emotion. I wasn't changing my mindset. I didn't have an intention. The intention was to, be thinner so people would accept me, not just have, just live in a healthy way. For me, it was for other people and how they would accept me. So, and I think it's really important to keep this vision document or board or something somewhere, put it on your phone, put it up in your house, put it on your computer as your screen, huh?
Can I show you mine?
Yeah.
Okay. I started this last year and I add to it.
And what we have to say is, for those who mostly listen to the podcast, if you want to see the visuals, we're also on YouTube, Coach SG and Friends. So if you search us, then you can see her vision board. So go ahead and share what it is.
Okay. So I add to it. Sorry, I'm gonna have to move you guys. I add to it, so I leave space. Right?
Oh, okay.
Check on it. I started it last year, but I've always had them, but I've always done them smaller.
Right.
And I vision is not more. It's not that many images. It's more writing and detail. If you see here now,
right.
If you look here, I had no clue how the hell I was going to get the Creative Arts Center going. That shit is going right now.
Right.
Here, in this little section of conglomerations, and these are all the things that I was like using to empower me. Success is mine because it's a blessing for others. You know what I mean? These are the ideas. I am funded. I am invested in. I am the CEO, the president of this facility. These are like all the details. And while I write the details, this is the envisioning process. I'm visioning it and I'm feeling it. I'm writing them as if it already is. The book was a main thing that started all of this. It's just so beautiful. And I did all of this prior to publishing.
Wow.
So it's crazy. Over
So
here,
I
Nick,
think, you know what I think? I think either we should pick a day, maybe not this Friday or like another day where we go live and we teach people how to create vision boards, because I don't think there's a one way to do it. I love the way yours look. I have about 10 of them, but the one that I did recently is more digital and it's just a lot of images. But yeah, so I think definitely I love that you have it ongoing so it doesn't stop. Like you just keep creating. It's beautiful.
you know what else? It's been great to do when I go back into it, especially like when I'm having a down day and I'm like, maybe I should, check or whatever. And I look at it because it's big. It's a big poster and I have it in one of my office rooms and it's like,
Right.
but when I look at it and I'm like, this is done. This is done. I'm on my way to this. This is happening. That's why I like to keep it ongoing, because then I can see. I'm like, ooh, this connected to this. This was the catalyst for this. And then you're looking at it in retrospect. So there's evidence. It's
Right.
like, ooh, it's working.
I love it. I love it. I've been doing it a little different, different ways. And because we're now in the RV, I don't have a place to put it up. So I have it now on my computer. So I definitely think that people should keep this vision document alive so you don't forget what you said you were going to do, so you don't forget your intention, you don't forget the vision, because no matter what's going on in your life, if it's feeling like it's not happening, you got to don't let it take your eye off the vision. So I love that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I think is, and this is what they don't talk about when they go through the vision boards and all this, they don't talk about self-mastery. So I want to talk about self-mastery and how it differs from self-discipline, but why you have to have self-mastery when you're creating a better life and a better love story for yourself.
I love that. That's beautiful. Self-mastery is understanding. All right, first of all, it's important because if you don't understand how to master your own self, then you are going to block your own self. No one, right? We have to pay attention to all our lessons. So listeners, when we talk about knowing, one of the main things that we always say, we cannot control energies outside of self.
Right.
Well, that's the key right there. Once we know that, which is also the first law of physics, this is science, not Mayans. That's a fact. You cannot control any energy outside of your own vessel or the vessel that contains itself. An energy cannot be created or die or destroyed. It can only be transferred. So when you know that, that's a key. It's a major key, you guys. Then you know I have to master self, because it is never up to any force outside of this vessel that can destroy me or create me. We are to master self. And when we understand how self gets mastered by knowing one's true self is a part of this higher creation, then we start to understand that agape love that I mentioned earlier, and we start to be allowing of others to master themselves too. And we won't be so hung up and blocked by trying to control others, because we will understand that we can't. It's just not the way it's built.
Because everything I have to put it in a way that I can understand it. And this is not really the true definition, but for me, self-mastery is, managing my mental and emotional state. And self-discipline is about managing the habits that align with that. So they kind of work together. And I feel like, I felt like I struggle with self-discipline in certain areas. So whenever I struggle with discipline in certain areas, I got to go back to my mental and emotional state, my self-mastery. And I think that they don't talk about this when you do the vision boards and you say, okay, I'm going to be courageous and I'm going to be more creative than I ever have. And then I do something like, I put a video on TikTok and I was being creative, and they were so nasty to me. They were like, whose mom is this? Whose Tia is this? But I can laugh about it now, but when I first did it, I was like, what the hell? But then I was learning how TikTok works. And, I was doing an ad because I wanted to put our ads on there. But if I hadn't been working on my mental and emotional state, I would have taken it down, or I would have felt bad about it and didn't want to do TikTok anymore, or didn't want to be creative anymore. So that's why it's really important that you're working with your self-mastery, so that when the dreams are not manifesting the way that you think that they should be, because everything is always working out for you, that you're able to. I remember I had a time when, and let me just share this, I had a time where money was tight. Where everything was going great and then money got really tight, and I was like, whoa. And you start to rethink, like, oh, should I do this, should I do that? But if I hadn't been working on my mental and emotional state, I realized that what I see is what has been manifested already from before. But I can manifest my next experience, and I really have to get my mind and energy right so that I can have something different. But you have to have this self-mastery when you're building your business and you're building a better you, and you got people around you that maybe not supporting you. They're telling you your dreams suck, or why are you doing that? You should just get a job already. You have to be able to manage your mental, emotional state so it keeps you going forward and you keep your focus on the vision.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I call you when I'm going through them times, right?
But I have the same times. I do. I have the same times. There. I don't live with my around my family as much as you do. So it's it's a little different. I think I have a little bit more reprieve. But but I think also my family is not like, they'll say you can do it and all that stuff, but I don't feel like they're the ones that are really about like, what do you need and how can I support you? And that's what I want in my life. And if it's not my family, that's fine. I want to find those people. Like, I feel like you and Lisa are the type of people that I can call about a dream, about something, and it's all about, that's it, that you can do it. How can we help you? And so instead of looking at how, I'm not getting it from this place, I'm just really looking at the place where I can get my resources from. So
yeah, before I even get into the family thing, because I want to make but the self-discipline, I definitely 150% struggle with the self-discipline part too. But I noticed, right, it's the same thing like about the weight thing. What's more easier, what's more joyful to do? Worry about how much I don't got discipline, or having a mindset about discipline, like it's okay to create freely. Because if I get into the space of you're not disciplined, you're weak, that's the attention of, I just might not be ready yet. And that's like, I allow myself to, even if I say, you know what, I know I need to get up and I need to do this today, but today I don't feel like doing it. So what's the point of getting up and doing it and forcing myself if it's not going to be my highest level of self? Let me figure it out. Like I'll give myself, as a part of the discipline package, the room to fuck up. and my messing up part is a part of the inventory. You're not disciplined in this area. You're not as likely to do this because this. And then, it started. So one of my main things was partying. Prior to becoming more sober, I don't drink any longer. I don't fuck around with hard party drugs. And so really what it was is this. There was a point where I could not hang out with my friends without being like, fuck it, it's okay, give me a shot. All right, whatever, we could chill, I'll do this, I'll do, it's just one time, there was a point. Now I'm not at that point. Now I'm like, I can hang out with y'all, but I realized I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to go into those places. So there was a time where I would still do that, and I was realizing, okay, you're not disciplined at this. So now I don't want to go out into those circumstances. Not that I don't want to hang out with my friends. I love my friends. I miss you guys, and I miss having fun. So here's the thing. My home is open. In my house, there's no alcohol. You know what I mean? In my house, there's no things, whatever. Y'all could do what y'all do, but I'm not going to host that type of an event. But we could do show times together. We could watch movies. We can hang out. Y'all could, and y'all welcome into it. But what I realized is they don't want to rise to that occasion. So then when we do align, we'll come together for whatever that is, whatever that looks like. I don't know yet, because currently I'm not in charge of your things. Y'all, that's what y'all do. This is mine. And so the discipline started to work out itself when I took away the expectations of being able to meet this level of perfection or mastery. It's just like, yo, you can't be master until you F up a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? It started to work itself out. That was that. And so, yes, discipline is an important part, but it's okay when we mess up. It's okay. Cool. you'll get it. Then the family thing, what you mentioned was them supporting. Oh my God, I want the same thing. I wish that my cousins and all of them would call and be like, yo, what's up? I'm coming through. You throwing an event. We driving up 2 hours. Who cares? We got extra stuff. We helping. We there. We supporting you. I wish. A lot of the people that volunteer with me and work with me, their families come out and it's beautiful. I'm like, and deep inside, I'm like, I wish I had that. Like my family's right across the street, but they're not coming. They're not to attach themselves to shit once it's done and built. Yeah.
Yeah. Once it's thriving, everybody. Oh my, that's my cousin, and she really, I listen. I know. And this is what. Wait. This is what brings us to number 6. Assess your environment. I think it's really important that you assess your environment because just like we talked about the weight thing, right? And we talked about if you want to do something different and the people you're hanging out with are doing something different than what you want to do, if I'm trying to, eat better, I can't hang out with people that are at the barbecue spot and, eat chips and whatever. So it doesn't mean that I can never hang out with them, but it's like you said, we got to hang out doing other things. We can hang out going to movies, we could go for a run, we could go to the beach, but we can't be going out to eat together because, until I can master myself, it's going to be hard for me to do that. So I think it's really important that you, assess your environment and make sure you're in an environment and one that you can thrive in. So
I love that. For me, I've been so damaged by that type of environment that doesn't allow you to thrive. You're just surviving. That's one of the log lines, I should say, of one of my programs, I'm trying to do in Coney Island. It's to create a Coney Island that you thrive in, not just survive in. I'm trying to create that for the community so that way others don't have to feel that way. And they don't have to undo as much. And we all have our own traumas and our own experiences are valid. But because I know that and I believe in that so much, I know that I got to leave my environment a little bit. But if I did not, I don't know if I would have changed. So for those that do not know how to leave the environment or do not have the resources to leave the environment or have the fear or the limit or the belief that they can leave the environment, I am in the position now because of my shift to change the environment for them.
I love that because I feel like that is my thing now. I'm like, wow, I never even thought that I could really change my environment. Like I could, and I don't just mean like just going to another state or whatever, but like, even when I started doing coaching, I would coach people who I felt like needed it instead of people who wanted it. And the people who needed it were like, no, I didn't get my homework done. I'm going to get it next time or whatever. And the people who wanted it were doing extra things. I not only did my homework, but I did some other stuff, and I think it's kind of like what you had mentioned in one of the podcasts that we're kind of like plants. Right. And we need things to help us thrive and to help us grow. And the environment is very important. You feed off of your environment. So if you're fighting against your environment all the time, it's hard to manifest your dreams. So you've got to put yourself in an environment that helps you to thrive. If you're somebody who likes to be more by the beach, go to the beach more often. If you like to sleep more often and you don't have any peace in your house, figure out how you can get more peace. You have to create a space in your life that you can thrive, you can recharge and renew. And a lot of times we don't think about it. We just think like we got to struggle. There's so much like accolades in a struggle, know, and it's like, what if you could do it this easy? What if not you just want to link up with the people that just know how important all this work that you're doing is and how they can't wait to support you. They're just so appreciative of what you're doing and they know how much work it takes. Those are the people that you want to link up with than the people that are, naysayers and, want to make everything difficult. Because at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is enrich the community. There's nothing bad that's coming from it. And that's the vision, to enrich the community. So it's like you either want to come on this train of enriching the community or you want to be on the train of how it's not happening the way you want it to. So
I blamed so many things. I would tell my mother, like, you raised me in a neighborhood that was more likely for me to go to prison than it is for college. You know what I'm saying? So like, sorry that I didn't, take school seriously, you know,
Right.
this and this. And so people are in that mind state of, giving attention to the wrong thing. When you realize that those things can be changed once you become aware and you're the decider, you're the creator of that, then that process becomes easier.
Right. I love that. So, having your environment match whatever your goals are, or make it easy for you to manifest your goals. And like you were saying, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to move away, or because some people don't have that luxury, they don't have that option, but you do have the option to change minor things so that that you can thrive more if you focus on it. I found that going to the beach was really important for me, because that was the time when I would sit and I would be with the sun and the clouds and the water, and my thoughts would just flow easily. I didn't have to sit in the house trying to be creative. Like, I could go to the beach and it would just flow easily. So, you just got to find where those spots are and stop being in your habit, get outside of your habit and figure out what helps you thrive. So whatever your intentions are, you got to make sure that your environment supports it. And then, so the next one. So I remember my coach telling me, she wanted me to create a support system, and she talked about something called a partner in believing. And so that's what I'm going to say. You want to find a partner in believing, but you want to find it more organically. You don't want to be like feeling anxious if you don't have it. But I want to tell you the difference between a partner in believing and an accountability partner. So accountability partner is you go to, you guys meet and you say, oh, I'm going to do these things. And then they hold you accountable for the shit you didn't do. Partner believing is different. It's not like an accountability partner. A partner in believing is when you say, I said I was going to do this thing, and I had a really hard time doing it. Your partner believes that you can do it. They know that you can do it. They know that there's a way. They know that there's a path through, and they're going to help you release those limitations. It's not about, oh, you said you were going to write last week and you didn't. It's like, no, I said I wanted to be a writer, and you say, well, I'm having trouble writing. I didn't write all week because I was busy. They're going to say, okay, so what do you think is stopping you, from getting the writing done? Well, I'm trying to do it in the morning. And in the morning, I'm really tired. I got a lot going on. Well, can you do it at night? Can you go to the beach? Can we do it together while we're on this call? It's about finding a way that you can push through it. Then it's about holding you accountable for what you didn't do. So have you had a partner in believing before?
Not really. And it's so weird because my partner in believing, I think I recognized this year for the first time, and it was one of my local politicians. It wasn't a friend, it wasn't a family member. It was not anybody that I grew up with, anybody who knows me deeply. It's somebody who barely knows me. But it's a person who, it's the first person that I've ever met and seen do the things that I want to do. What they did tell me was that idea is valuable. That energy is powerful. Those thoughts, those steps, and if you don't know what steps to take, you can do these steps, and I believe you can do it. You have to follow through. They're no longer in office, but I'm there at that point. And they have not been the person to allocate the funding because they're 10 years over, but they were the person, whether they realized it or not, who was believing in me. And because they were the person who already lived that life and exemplified that role that I was inspired by, I believed in myself so much. They've been my rocket. They've been my rocket, my gasoline, and it's been pushing me. I don't even know if they understand how important their words and their belief has been to me, but it's because of that has been keeping me pushing every single day.
Yeah, I love that. And that's why I wanted to do this with you and Lisa, that we would do our goals together and we would be each other's partner in believing, because you can have as many as you want. I have one that I've had for the last, I think, year and a half, and she has a business as well, and she left her job and is creating her own company, and we're just partners in believing. We talk every Wednesday at a certain time, and it's for 1 hour, and we have our vision document for the year, what we're going to do every month. And And if I'm struggling at all with something, at first it was the videos. I was afraid to do these videos because I'm more of a shy person, and I'm more of I'm not very, I wouldn't say I'm very professional. I'm more jokey, whatever. And so I was having a hard time with that. So, we just talk about how we can get through these obstacles together. And I feel like it's something I can look forward to every week. And we are working towards the vision, and every day, we just celebrate each other for where we've been. So I think a support system, a partner in believing, is really important to help you with your goals. So if you're looking at your environment, you got to make sure you've got your images up, and you have somebody that understands what you want to do, and they believe it. They believe that you can achieve your goals. It's really important to have that. And here's the other thing that I'm still not great at, but I'm adding to the meditation. I do meditation every day, pretty much 90% of the time. There's probably 10% where, we got to get this RV going or whatever. I don't have time, but I find time during the day. The other part that I just want to add that I think is really important, and I think you do this as well, is visualization. Because, there's one thing to have the images or whatever, but I think it's another way to just sit and visualize and feel what your dream is going to feel like when you get there. So do you do any kind of visualization?
I visualize more than anything. I battle with meditation lately. I've been battling with it. I don't necessarily meditate as much as I used to. I used to meditate a lot. It was more of my healing thing, to heal. I needed to heal. Meditation allowed me to hear from the spirit. But visualization became how my spirit was lifted. My life was hard. A lot of the things is hard. There's many hard aspects to it. So meditating and trying to heal the hard parts didn't necessarily allow me to feel great. So I do the visualization more than anything, mainly before sleep. It was focus wheels and what I want, and stepping into the vibration of that, and doing my vision boards. Those things are tools. Those are tools. In the spiritual sense, when you start to learn how to use your tools, they're really just helping the subconscious store the practices of this. But after you get used to it and you do it for some time, you don't need the tools anymore. You already know how to naturally, it becomes your habit. Everything is, you got to know how the brain works and how the subconscious works. So I should meditate more. But, lately
it's okay. I think everybody has their own process, and I think that's why the last one is find a daily routine that primes you, because if in the beginning the meditation was really working for you, but now you got to step it up and change it. I think it's just like anything, you get tired of the same thing, so you either change the type of meditation you're doing or just change the way that, as long as it's priming you, that's all that matters. Because I went from doing a lot of meditation, like for 45 minutes to an hour, to 15 minutes. Like I used to do it way longer than I do it now, but I find for me, it's easier for me to do 15 minutes, and I'm more consistent, and I get it going if I do that. And that just helps my mind focus, it just helps me. So when I need to master myself or whatever, I'm used to, training my thoughts or whatever. But I think visualization is very difficult for me. It's not something that's easy. Well, let me not say those words.
Right.
It's I'm just not used to it. So I've got to get myself used to doing visualization. I never thought to do it at night. So thanks because I'm relaxing, I'm about to go to bed. That's probably a really great time to do it. Yeah. And then, I think also, one of the things that I used to do in the morning is I would either listen to a motivational video, or I listened to a song that got me hyped, and I would do it on purpose as an intention to prime myself for the day, like almost like Rocky. I'm about to get in the gym. I got the music going. I got everything going to prime myself for the day, so that I know that I'm getting myself ready for my next goal, my next intention, my next best life. So I do that in the morning. You do it at night. I think I'm going to start adding the visualization at night, and it doesn't have to be all together. It's really about customizing what works for you. We're just trying to give you some tools. You figure out what that is for yourself, but I think just incorporating all of these is really important.
Yeah.
So let's go back through the steps. So step one was to take an inventory of last year. see where you feel success. Look at what you want to progress a little bit more on. So you got to get clear about your desires. So you have to do that inventory, get clear about what you want, not what you think you can accomplish, but what you truly want this year. Just let it go, let it rip, right? Number 2 is set your intention, which is different than your goals. Your intention is about, who you want to be and how you want to feel rather than, what that outcome is. And 3, after you set your intention, you want to focus on your goals and be as specific as possible. 4 is to create a vision document or board or something that all your goals are going to live in, that you can go and look at more often. You can even do a video. I have something called I think it's called iMap, where you can create your own video and you can watch your own video for the year. So you could do that.
Well, I like that.
I have it, but you know what? I thought it was going to be amazing and I was going to use it all the time, and I didn't. So, but I can give you the link to it. I have a lifetime membership and you can go in, you could create your own video. And then 5 was self-mastery. It doesn't matter how much you say you want to do something, but if you're not, working on your mental and emotional state and your habits, it's going to be hard to get through it. So you want to work on your self-mastery and self-discipline. And 6, you want to assess your environment. So you want to make sure you have the environment that you thrive most in, not that you're just surviving in, but you're thriving in. 7 is your support system. So you want to make sure that you find a partner in believing. You don't have to find a whole tribe of people, but you want to find one person that believes in you, that you believe in them, and you guys can work together to manifest your dreams together. What was number 8 was meditation and visualization. So you want to add some meditation or visualization. You don't have to do both. Something that's going to help you keep priming yourself to manifest your dreams. And the last one was to prime yourself daily to prepare for these new goals. So whatever that morning or evening or midday habit's going to be, whether it's music, it's video, it's visualization, it's audio, whatever it is, you're going to prime yourself like you're getting in the ring to master your dreams. And you want to use that as a practice to just get yourself ready every day to live the best life that you can possibly have, for yourself and for your love story.
It's 2022, and we have so many amazing things that we can use as these tools. You guys, we're in the era of social media. There's Reels, there's TikToks. I personally like to use my Reels or my TikToks as my affirmations. Like, it's an improv affirmation thing for me. You know what I mean? Like, I'll use it and I'll empower myself, and I like to see myself act like this, thing, and it's fun. So Sherelle said, it doesn't have to look like anything. It doesn't have to look like hers. It doesn't have to look like mine. You have the freedom to create whatever kind of intentional manifesting routine for yourself as you like. It's limitless. Be free. Know that it is your birthright. If you are in human form on earth, you can create. That's just the way it is. So I thank you for being here with us for 2022. We are thriving and not surviving. We are thriving.
My joyful friends, that's our show. Thank you for listening. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe and leave a review. Share this episode